And hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. Today is March the 21st of 2022. Tomorrow is a 322. Just watch out. Today I am coming to you from the other side of the room. Literally, the other side of the room. This weekend I rearranged the basement. I opened up some of the places that had been hit by the flood the worst. Whenever we had the water come in the house, um, I opened that stuff up. That way, I could really get into them and clean them out and dry them out and put some more spray down, put some more baking soda down, and I moved the desk. I moved the desk over. I took a couple shelves out. Um, one of the shelves that I did have down here, I put up on a riser. That way, it can't have any problems anymore. So basically, everything that could go bad if we get any more water back in the house again, the way that we did, will not get that wet. And I left a space where the water comes in the worst so that it can dry out the fastest. So I did that, and it's a different view. I am now facing east, I think. So it's a little weird. It's a little darker over here in the corner. I have a lamp set up now, so I can actually read my Bible, which is it's good, But everything worked out, and I have finally gotten rid of the low level wet smell in the room, because that was one of the biggest problems. And I knew that if I still had wetness in somewhere, I could have some bad things happen. So when I cleaned it out, I dried everything out, and it's like I said, I put a lot of I put a lot of effort into it. It took me 2 whole days. It took me Saturday and Sunday. I pulled everything out on Saturday, and then Sunday I put everything back in. And so, anyways, enough about me. Today, of course, we are reading Psalm 119. Today is LAMED. Is that right? LAMED. Yes, this is the first one of the alphabet, that is the same in the KJV as it is on this website. So there you go. The LAMED it resembles a shepherd's staff or a goad, and it means literally what you would think. It means to move, to push forward, to goad somebody um, into into going a way that they want them to go. The best example it was saying is to teach, to instruct, to learn, to get somebody to learn. As if to as if reading as if reading the scriptures, as if understanding God's word. It's to goad somebody, to push somebody to get them to move forward. There was not much else to it. Sometimes these give a lot of different things. The one thing it said is it is actually the tallest letter. It actually rises above all the other letters. Learning of God's word is actually more prevalent in the alphabet than it is than any other letter. Think about that for a second. But really, there's not much else. I mean, there's other stuff we can go over, but to spur into action. I want to study is not the ultimate goal, rather the deeds. Okay, but that's not in the Bible. So don't listen to that. Anyways, we will read it first and then we'll go over the letter. The same way we've been doing. So we shall see how this goes. Again, on the other side of the room, it's a little different. I'm not looking at a wall with shelves anymore. I'm looking at um, our what do you want to call this? There's like a shelf built into the wall. Um, I don't know what this is called. I know we had one in the old house where it's like it's paneling up to like a shelf, and then I have stuff on the shelf. The shelf is a perfect size to stack CDs. Um, but I'm looking at my very terrible paint job I did on the shelf. Underneath, I can see it, because I'm at eye level now, and I can see all the places where the paintbrush kind of went underneath, and I didn't see it before, and now it's like, oh man, guess I should have taped that up a little bit better. Oh well. Anyways, the sound is different here too because I don't have as much. My voice is not going underneath the shelves that were back there on the other wall, coming back at me. So it's very flat over here. It's very weird. Anyways, LAMED. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. They continue this day according to thine ordinances. For all are thy servants. Unless thy law had been my delights, I should then have perished in mine affliction. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me. For I have sought thy precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. And that is it. All right. Look at this. Everything is moved, so everything is different over here, and trying to find where I stashed the Kleenexes. Holy smokes. Not as bad of allergies as usual. But again, I'm on a different side of the room. And everything got wiped down. I was able to wipe everything down as I moved. I actually cleaned up a lot of stuff. I actually wiped down all my guitars and my guitar cases, if you can believe that. And I finally they have this nice little space in a corner. I love it. I'm pretty well happy with it, man. Just the way that I was able to get it set up. I'm pretty happy with it. I liked it the way it was before, but you got to do what you got to do. So let's go back through this. I'm not really hearing anything about goading or teaching. I mean, there are some things, maybe it's being goaded and being, following, because you're moved to follow the word. You're not goaded into just following it for the sake of following it. You're moved to follow the word to be better. You're not just following the sheep. You're not being herded. You're being goaded. You're being pushed along. You're being helped along. There's one of the things that I have heard over the past, I don't know, however many millions of years. That's an exaggeration, by the way. But one thing I have heard throughout my life, let's put it that way, is that, Christians are just sheep. They're just following the herd because they don't know any better. Well, we've obviously found out that sheep will follow whatever whatever their masters command them. Um, so it's not just Christianity; it's pretty much anybody and everybody. Um, but I have always heard, oh, they're just following that because they think that it's going to help them and all this other kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, but that's not true. You're following the teachings because there's something better about it. At least for me. I don't know. For other people, it might be something else. But I have found throughout this whole journey that I want to be better because it's better than what we have. Because what we have doesn't feel right anymore. I mean, maybe at one point in our lives, we thought, oh, this is the best thing in the world. This is what we have. This is, But when you are awakened to the truth, when you see how evil everything is, when you see how how the system that the evil of this world has made is only there to hurt other people. When you see how much it hurts, you want to find something better. And I've heard a lot of people say, well, you can move over to this, move over to that. There's plenty of religions out there that do a lot better. It's like, no, not really. I've tried a lot of other stuff, and you can go off and try to do better for yourself, and hope that you can gain some kind of immortality in one religion, or you can you know do your weird do your weird body poses to some god that you don't understand in another one. But most of all of those are for self. They're van. You hear me? They're vanity. Holy smokes. They're vain. They're full of it. It's only about you. It's only about taking care of you. It's this new age concept of taking care of yourself. It's not about taking care of others. There's not many religions out there that are about taking care of other people. It's only about yourself. It's only about doing good for yourself so that in the end you can move on and be better and be you can get your 40 virgins at the end of the world, or you can get reincarnated into something better, or you can attain your enlightenment and go wherever it is that you're supposed to go, which I still don't know what that enlightenment is, because they never really say what it is. It's like, you will join the light. It's like, what light? What are you talking about? But it's none of them are ever about just be better to other people. Just be better to everyone. Some people can say, well, yeah, it is, but no, it's not. You're not really, you're only doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for anybody else. I am, if I would have stayed in that Buddhist Hindu idea, that concept of, you know, being good, trying to balance my karma. You know, I would have been doing it in order to make myself feel better, in order to make myself happier, in order to balance my life. I wouldn't be trying to save anybody else. It's like, hey, you go off, do your own thing. I'm going to be over here trying to get myself into, my own enlightenment. I'm not over here trying to help people. Since I've been on this journey, all I've wanted to do, and I've said this pretty much from the beginning, is that I am trying to help other people see this the way that I see this, because I absolutely think, as broken as we are in this world, this will help other people. It helped me. It's got to help other people. We are all broken. This has to help. So I'm not doing this for me. I'm trying to help other people. And that's part of that vanity. That's part of that greed of self, I guess. Does that make sense? Does any of that make sense at all? I feel like I went on another little tangent where it just kind of, went off the rails a little bit. But it's, again, it's the goading aspect. It's the, if you're going to learn. If you're going to learn this, go over this way. Read this passage. Read this book. Read this. It's how I was goaded into reading the Psalms a couple years ago. It's about being pushed into the teaching. Push me in the right way. Tell me, Father, tell me what you want me to learn today so that I can become better, so that I can spread your word better to other people, so that I have the words that I can say that will help people, instead of just me sitting here rambling like a fool. Tell me where to go. Tell me what to say. Push me where you need me to go. Push me where I can help the most. There you go. Let's go back through it. I know. I get on those tangents, man. Start at the top again. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. His word is forever. His word is eternal. It has never been stopped. His commandments have never gone away. The word of God will exist forever. Somebody once said that Bibles will burn. I know that sounds terrible. He said Bibles will burn. Ink can be washed away. You can have all of your scriptures taken away from you. The word will always exist. They can change the translations. They can change the words. They can change the spelling. They can change everything that they possibly can. But the word will always exist. God's word will always exist. So it's about finding the word, not just finding what man has made of the word. It's pretty much what it was saying. Thy faithfulness is unto all generations. Thou hast established the earth, and it abideth. He established the earth so that it will not move. It hangs on nothing. It sits on pedestals, with a hard firmament that goes around it. Sun and moon are inside the firmament. I could go on, but, we'll go somewhere else. They continue this day according to thine ordinances. For all are thy servants. They continue according to thy ordinances. They are goaded in their day. They are pushed by you in their day to follow your ordinances, because they are your servants. Because this world was made for your pleasure. A lot of people will take that and turn it and say, oh, well, he's just making slaves out of us. There's nothing that says he's making slaves out of us. He wants to have family. He wants to have the comfort of us being with him. He does it for his pleasure that we're there. That if he wanted to make slaves, he would be doing all the stuff that I know that I said before, where, he could very easily come down and tell us all, you have to do this, you have to do that. He's not doing that. He's not making slaves. He's not forcing you to do anything. He's letting you do it. And if you come back to him, that's your choice. But he wants to have that fellowship with us. And the people that follow them willingly. He tells us where to go. He tells us what to do so that we can be better. It's not. I don't know why I'm so onto this whole thing about us seemingly being forced into this. I don't know why. This is just where I'm being led today. It seems like every one of these we have talked about something different. It makes me think that I should have I should have probably gone through and talked about what I was, or at least pointed out what I was talking about. But I'm sure it all leads to something, man. It all leads to something. In the end, if you probably go back through and listen to every single one of these that I've read, I am sure that God has pushed me to say certain things that they all add up to something. I am sure day by day by day, it has all added up to something. That's how he works. It's amazing the way that he does, the way that he works. For all are thy servants, unless thy law had been my delights, I should then have perished in my affliction. If I had not had your word, I would have died because of my sins, of what I have fallen for in this world. Unless I took delight in what you gave me, unless I took delight in the things that you have goaded me to follow, and I would have perished in this world, what I had. It's exactly what that says. I will never forget thy precepts, for with them thou hast quickened me. I am thine, save me, for I have sought thy precepts. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me. There it is again. The wicked they're just there. They're waiting. I mean, they're waiting. They have waited to destroy me. They're just waiting. They're ready to destroy me at any time. Just any second now. They're waiting. And they're going to do it. But I will consider thy testimonies. The wicked are ready to destroy me, but I am going to consider what you've given me. I'm going to follow what you've given me, and I am not going to perish in my afflictions because you have given me the word. You have shown me the way to go. You've shown me the law. You've shown me what to do. And there is something better than what the wicked, the people that have done nothing, that the Psalms have shown us that they do nothing but want to hurt me because I am different. They wait to destroy me. They do everything in their power to destroy me. They set traps. They lie. They steal. They will cheat. They will Guerrero me. That's a wrestling term. I'm sorry. I had to do it because I said lie, steal, and cheat. And I just sorry, that's funny as heck. But they will do everything in their power to hurt me and destroy me simply because I exist, because I don't want to be like them. And because I don't want to be like them, they will do all of this to me. But nothing in this world can harm me. There is no weapon upon this world that can hurt me because I walk with God. Because I walk with God and I will be better than them. I will overcome them because he has given me the strength to overcome them. I had to contemplate that for a second. I'm sorry. That had to really sink into me. I had to take a moment to kind of let that sink in. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. It makes me think of the men of Sodom, the people of Sodom. I can't say the men; it was the people. They said everybody. It was the young and old, the whole city. Everybody came out to Lot's house to tear down the door so that they could get at the angels, and they they were demanding that they bring the angels out. And Lot said, "Look, I will give you my daughters. You can do whatever you want to with my daughters. Let me, do not touch these men." And they said, "No, we don't even want your daughters. We're the whole city. That's what the Bible said. The whole city. We don't even want your daughters. We want the two men that came in." And the angels struck them with blindness, and they wearied themselves trying to get in the doors. Remember, this is the whole city trying to get into the doors to get these angels. And let's see if I can find this. Tell me where it is. But they were going. They tried as much as they could to get in to this house simply to get these angels. And they were wearying themselves. They were blind. It's not just, these angels came out and blinded everybody to it. It was the fact that even after they were blind, they still wanted to get them. It was insane, man. Absolutely insane. It's in Genesis, and I'm thinking it's 19. And I'm looking for an exact place, though. I'm trying to find it. I'm sure there's somebody out there that probably knows. Oh, it's exactly where it is. But the men put forth. Okay, so Genesis 19:10. We will actually use my Bible because I still think it is a lot better if you read it directly from printed page. Okay, so. But before they lay down, this was whenever Lot invited them in. Lot invited the two angels in. Oh no, wait. Let me start. Okay, chapter 19. Come on, Genesis 19. Start at the beginning. And there came two angels to Sodom and even, and Lot sat at the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. He bowed down his face. I pray you come stay in my house. And they said, "No, we will buy in the street." But he said, "No, please come stay at the house because this is a pretty evil place." But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. This is what people it's one of those parts of the Bible where they just kind of skip over it. It's one that you don't really see unless you really, really stop and pay attention to it. But it was the men of the city, and now we're not just talking about the men, the males. We're talking about people in the city. Compassed the house round, both old and young, old people and young people, all the people from every quarter. The entire city of Sodom came out to one house just so that they could get inside of it. The whole city. Everybody, young and old. We're talking little kids. We're trying to get in on this too. The elderly. 60-year-olds. Right next to 30-year-olds. Right next to little kids. We're trying to break into this house to get to these angels. That's biblical. That's in your Bible. Read. I just read it. It's Genesis 19. What did I say it was? 19:4. That's right there. The whole city. And Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him. And he said, "Don't do this. Do not do wickedly. And I have 2 daughters I will give to you." And they said, "Stand back." And they said again, "This one fellow came in sojourn, and I will who needs be a judge, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them." And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. This is the whole city. But the men put forth their hand, pulled Lot into the house, shut the door behind him, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great. Everybody. The young, the old. The men, the women, everybody from every quarter. What did it say it was? All the people from every quarter. All the people from every quarter. So that, here we go. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. These people wanted in so bad that they were willing to weary themselves, even after they were struck with blindness, trying to get at this door, trying to get at these guys. Let me see. Let me make sure here. To be weary, to grieve, to be offended, to be weary, to be impatient, to be tired of something, weary oneself, to make weary, to exhaust. They exhausted themselves to find the door. I mean, seriously, man. These people went out of their way to try to get into this door. I'm just checking a couple of the words to make sure that everything is copacetic here, and it is. I mean, it's. I'm just checking out I'm just checking out Strong's to make sure that all these words are exactly what they mean. The men, mankind of the city, both old and young, both elderly and youthful. All the people, all the nation, all the people, all the kinsmen, all the kindred, of every quarter, of every end, of the whole, of every quarter, came to compass the house. It's in your Bible. I mean, that's legit crazy. That's legit crazy right there. The whole city emptied out just so that they could get to these two guys to do with as they will. Lot said, "Take my daughters. Take my daughters. Do with them what you want to do. You know, you guys want something to ravage? Go take my daughters. Ravage my daughters." But they threw them aside, and they kept trying to get at the door. The angels smote them all with blindness so that they couldn't see, and they exhausted themselves trying to get in the door. That's the kind of evil you're dealing with. That's I don't know how many times we got to go over this. That's the kind of evil we're dealing with here. when I say that there are some bad people in the world doing some bad things, that they will do everything in their power to hurt you and manipulate you and destroy you. And almost every single one of these Psalms, since Psalm number 1, has been about being hurt and destroyed by the people of this world, the wicked ones, those that are waiting. They are literally waiting to destroy you. That's what that means. That's. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh, well, that was just Sodom. That's not even, it's not even a real city. That wasn't even a real thing. They can't find any evidence for it. Well, there's been a lot of different people that have said a lot of different things about Sodom and, finding different things. But you don't need to be able to read other books outside of the Bible to know how bad Sodom and Gomorrah is. All you have to do is just read what's written in the Bible. If these people were willing to go that far just for 2 angels that came into their city, even if they didn't know they were angels, they just wanted to have those 2 men. I think they even said that. When we saw that you had 2 men entering into your house and we would know them. That, even if they didn't know they were angels, to go through that kind of effort to be able to get to them. The whole city, young and old. And then they exhausted themselves. I mean, I go on and on about it. And I think the biggest thing that I keep trying to say that people have to understand is when you are dealing with the people of this world, when you are dealing with how people act around you, how people act towards you, what they promise to give you, you cannot just follow that. You cannot just say, oh, they're trying to do good for me, therefore I should follow them. No, there are so many wolves in sheep's clothing at this point that anybody and everybody could hurt you. I could be leading you down a wrong path. I could very easily be doing that. That's why I constantly say, don't follow me. Don't follow me. Don't listen to me. Go find out for yourself. I'm pointing you where these things are going. Where all these things are, where you could find them, where you could read them, where you can understand them. Go find out for yourself. If you want to come back and listen, come back and listen. But I don't want to send anybody astray. And I'm definitely not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to manipulate anyone into doing anything. I'm thinking. Hold on a second. No. At one time whenever I was pulling all the YouTube tricks, whenever I was doing the video game commentaries. But, yeah, I can't think of... I'm not. Surely I'm not. See, if you got to think about it, I could be just as guilty as everybody else. So that's something that I'm going to have to. I've even prayed on that one before. Don't let me be the one that's leading anybody astray. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't want to be that guy that's leading anybody astray on this. And I don't want to be doing it just for the sake of getting a better seat in heaven, or doing it for my own benefit. I don't want any of that either. I want people to see this, to see how much better we could be if we open our eyes to how bad the world has become. And there's a better way, because somebody did it for me. Somebody was more than willing to go out and talk about these things. And it was able to open my eyes and see that there's a better way for us to go. We don't have to live like this. It doesn't have to be like this. There's always something better, and that we should strive for that something better. If somebody was willing to do that for me, I want more than anything to be willing to do that for somebody else. So that's why I do this. The wicked have waited for me to destroy me, but I will consider thy testimonies. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. I have seen an end of all perfection, but thy commandment is exceeding broad. That is that, man. Sometimes I get these gut checks as I'm reading these, as I go through these, and I come across something that I say, and I have to pull back and I have to do a gut check to make sure that, did I just say the right thing? Was that what I needed to say? Is that what God wanted me to say? And I think I did all right on that one. God, the Father will definitely give me a gut check to make sure that I know I said it right. And I think I did. So definitely something that I will probably wind up contemplating as I work. You especially for the first 30 minutes to an hour of me sitting here working, sometimes I'll run over it in my head, the things that I said, and I'll just be like, oh God, did I say that right? Did I say that right? Was that the right thing to say at all? I mean, really, did we do that right? Is that what you wanted me to say? So I just got gut checked on that one. All right, so I just realized I don't have a place to put my Bible. Put it right there. I used to be able to set my Bible on a couch after I got done with it, but over here I don't have a place to put it, so it'll be over on the side. All right, let's talk about LAMED for a little bit. Make sure we're still going here. All right, LAMED, 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Gematria is 30. Pictograph looks like a hook. They said that even a hook is it's a way to catch something, to pull in something with teaching, to goad something, to pull it in. You will be a fisher of men. Because it's a way of bringing people in. I've heard it so many different ways. It's use the right bait and you will catch people. Sow the right seeds. The whole deal. Goading is basically the same. Is that you're moving people the way that you need to go. It's a teaching. It's not trying to get them to it. It's once they're in it, you gotta push them in the ways that you want them to hear. You gotta show them the correct teachings, the correct understandings to help them improve upon their journey. Not just to say, hey, why don't you go check this out, check that out. Even though I've been guilty of doing that before too, but that was always, hey, did you know that if you just simply watch this video that, you will see that such and such is a lie, things like that. The letter LAMED is the 12th letter of the alphabet. I think I just said that. Having the numerical value of 30, the pictograph for LAMED looks like a shepherd's staff or goad, whereas a classic Hebrew scripture is constructed of a kaf and a vav standing upon it. The vav was man. The kaf. Oh, what was the kaf? To alphabet. So we had the kaf the other day. The kaf was the hand. It is. So where was it? It is the man standing upon a hand. Maybe it is a man holding the kaf, holding the shepherd's staff, leading the way. But it's unique, like I said, because it's the tallest. It rises above the baseline of the other letters. It towers above all the other letters. It is said to represent the King of Kings. This idea is supported by the idea that the preceding letter stands for what? Throne of Glory. Okay. The original meaning of LAMED was to prick, sting, incite, goad, as a shepherd might prod cattle to perform some action. The Hebrew name of the letter itself comes from the word lamad, meaning to learn or teach, and it first occurs in Deuteronomy 4:1. And now, Israel, listen to the statutes and the rules that I am teaching you. So there's that. And I got some other stuff in here. It's really not much else, man. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in here. You can, if you ever want to come through here, it's like I said, it's Hebrew for Christians. It's probably not the best, but it's like one of the first ones that pops up whenever you go looking for these things. And there's a class on YouTube. I cannot remember where it is now. I don't think I subscribed to it, so it's kind of gone. But it was a woman. She was teaching the letters as she was going through. She was starting with the pictographs and then going through the whole thing, and it was basically learning Hebrew. She was a black woman. So if you don't go for the whole true Hebrew things, then it might not be for you. But then again, I've already talked about that stuff before. Is that there's more than enough evidence to support the idea that true Hebrews are probably black. Just saying, there's more than enough evidence there. But that's you go find that for yourself. Make up your own mind. You start getting into that stuff. I've actually had some people come back on me and say, "You're crazy. You're out of your mind. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of." Well, there's more than enough evidence to also support the fact that there were way more black people than there were white people in this world at one point in time, and you keep denying that too. So everything's turned around. When I say that you have to completely throw out everything I mean it. You have to start blank slate, and you have to start understanding that these people are lying to you about everything. Not just the little things, not just, wars and money and all this other kind of stuff. We're talking about every little thing they're lying to you about. So you have to understand you don't know anything. There's nothing. Is that these people are evil and they're brutal, and they are more than happy to find any way possible to lie to you in order to get what they want. And one of the things they would tell you is that the history of the races in the world, I'm not just talking about white and black, I'm talking about everybody, that nothing is what it is. That's completely ass backwards. Everything is backwards. And if you understand that, if you understand that about history where everything you know is backwards, then you can start taking this apart piece by piece, and you can start understanding whenever I say that America is Egypt, and you can start understanding whenever I say that true Hebrews were probably black. That we didn't. No, I'm going to try that again. When you understand those two things, and you can also understand that everything there's a reason why there's only 200 years. It's because something happened that reset everything, that caused us all to flip, caused everything to flip. And it's a deliberate it's a deliberate oh man, I was going to use a big $30 word there for a second. Obfuscation. It's a deliberate obfuscation of, that's not even, I don't even think I'm pronouncing that right, of what we know. It's deliberate hiding of the truth in order to keep us the way we are. There's a lot more to go into it on that stuff, and I have not, man, I've moved so far away from listening to that kind of stuff, or getting into that kind of stuff, because it's like you get to a point to where you just can't prove anything anymore. You get to those videos, you get to those guys that are like, they can go through all the pictures, and they can go through all the documents, and they can go through all the other stuff, and you can learn about this, learn about that, but there comes a point where you have to do it for yourself and go out and hunt that stuff down for yourself and find it out for yourself. And I just cannot do that. At least not right now. I have to keep doing this. I have to work. I have a house now. I have a family I have to worry about. I have, I can do what I can on the side. This is what God is allowing me to do, is to at least have these videos that I could talk to people. I gotta do something about my nose. Hold on a second. Dead air. I had to do something about it, man. It was starting to get bad. But he's allowed me to do this much, and when I get to the point that I can go out and do some of that stuff, I am sure that he will show me the right way to go, show me how to do it. But that's just not my journey right now. My journey is to do this, and I am more than happy with that. That is what he needs for me to do, and I am still getting plenty of learning, plenty of experience and understanding just by doing this. I mean, every day it's something new, especially when we deal with these Psalms, going back through them and rereading them and finding out that there was something hidden in it that I didn't see before, you know. What is this? Go away, man. What the... Trying to log into my computer, and of course, things are just broke. Yet again, more and more crap. Every day I log into this computer, and there's just more and more stuff that doesn't seem to want to work. But anyways, it is darker in this corner. What the heck, man? Or do I have a... No. It is darker in this corner. That's weird. Alright. I have an overhead light now in order to be able to read the Bible. And as soon as I turned it off, it's like so dark over here. It's so weird. All right, well, you guys take care of yourselves. I got work to do. Yep, it's a Monday. Usually on Mondays I got some it's not the heavy workload, but it's definitely enough that I usually got to get going. So you guys take care of yourselves. God bless everyone. Watch out for yourselves, because I don't know what is going to happen, what's coming, what they have planned for us, but we know that they have plans, and they are more than willing to do whatever they can to wipe us out. They, them, you know who I'm talking about. So be prepared, be humbled, be strong in the word, full armor of God. Remember that the sword is an offensive weapon. You can use that. Just don't give in to these people. These people want to hurt and kill and destroy you. Just don't give in to them. All right. You all take care of yourselves. God bless.